So, day one of pause and reset, and today we're going to focus on a little bit of breath work. Now, breath work, I think sometimes make it sound a bit inaccessible, when really it's just noticing your breathing and kind of trying to consciously control it. So we're going to talk a tiny bit. I've only got 10 minutes, so I'll start my timer so I don't waffle on for ages. But the idea of pausing and resetting for me is all about thinking about resetting your nervous system. So controlled by, or predominantly controlled by, your vagus nerve. When we start to get overwhelmed, when we start to feel kind of bombarded by external messages, that vagus nerve will signal to your brain that you need to kick into that fight or flight response. And sometimes we can get a little bit stuck in that stress response. And so one of the most effective ways that we can start to kick out of that fight or flight response and shift ourselves into a more kind of rest and digest response is simply by breathing deeply. Because if we get stuck in a shallower pattern of breath, it's like that, you know, when you can't quite catch your breath and it's all stuck up here in your chest. If you can consciously deepen your breath, bring it down into your belly, make it longer, maybe even sigh it out, it is literally pressing a reset button. It is allowing your vagus nerve to signal to your brain that actually it's okay, we can be calm now, we can let everything relax, we can, you know, stop worrying about having to run away. So yeah, I find that I teach this a lot on one-to-one basis, and you'll hear me talk about it all the time. We're going to start with 3 big deep breaths and sighing out the exhale, because that sigh is a reset button. Just that sigh on its own is a reset button. So we're going to do 3 big deep breaths of a sigh and repeat that twice. And then we're going to come into a really simple belly breathing practice, which is where we focus on making sure that the breath is coming right down into the tummy rather than just getting stuck up in the chest. When you look up breath work, there are hundreds and thousands of different practices. You can use ones that count, you can use ones that alternate your nostrils, all manner of things. Today I want to keep it really simple, and we're just going to focus on finding a really nice, comfortable length of breath. So however that looks for you, and your main focus for me today is making sure that it's coming down into the tummy. I mean, anatomically, you can't breathe into your tummy, but by feeling the tummy move, it means that your diaphragm is pressing down, so it's pushing all that, you know, filling the lungs out, pushing the diaphragm down, and you'll feel your tummy move in and out rather than it just being stuck up in your chest. As yoga teachers, I know we're really guilty of telling you to breathe into parts of your body that you can't physically breathe into, but what that usually means is that we want you to take your attention to it and use that exhalation to soften the tension that's held there. Top tip. Okay, right, we're going to get started today. I'm too excited, so I'm going to waffle on otherwise. So finding a comfortable seat is the most important thing to begin with. Somewhere that you can sit comfortably. If you want to sit up on the sofa, on your dining chair, maybe on the edge of the bed, even if you want to lean with your back up against the wall so that you're not having to use too much effort to stay upright, whatever works best for you. And I want you to start by bringing your hands onto your knees or just into your lap. You're going to take a nice big deep breath in through the nose for me. And then you're going to sigh out through the mouth. We're going to do that twice more. As you breathe in deeply through the nose, notice how your shoulders perhaps rise up. Breathing in the chest, exhale, sigh. Seeing if you can slide those shoulders down a little bit. Once more, exactly the same, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. And then take a little pause. Let your breathing go back to normal. Notice how you feel. Do you feel a little calm? Has your heart rate slowed a little just by taking those 3 deep breaths? We're going to take exactly the same practice again, but this time, if it's comfortable, I want you to close your eyes. If you don't like closing your eyes, maybe just softly focus on something in front of you. Okay, hands again resting on the knees, shoulders slightly relaxed. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. There's a little bit of a pause sometimes at the end of that breath, and then go again. Inhale. Exhale. And on this last round, really see if you can melt your shoulders down away from your ears. Breathing in. Sighing out. Keep the eyes closed for me for just a moment longer. And again, notice how you feel. So now we've taken 6 of those deeper breaths, sighing out. Does it feel a little more spacious? Does your brain feel a little more settled? Does your body feel a little more relaxed? Hopefully, all of those things. Okay, if you haven't done already, blink the eyes open. Now we're going to change the breath ever so slightly. And this is your choice. You can keep breathing out of the mouth if you like that, if you prefer that. Otherwise, just going to keep breathing in and out through the nose. Obviously, this time of year, if you have a cold, breathe in and out through the mouth. It doesn't matter, so long as you're breathing. I want you to bring your hands down onto your tummy for me now. So somewhere around about the belly button, nice and low. And then what you're going to do is, as you breathe in next time, you can imagine you've got a big balloon there, and you're going to try and push the hands out as far as you can. And then as you breathe out, you're going to let the hands shrink back again. Okay, so we're going to go for 6 breaths. As you breathe in through the nose, concentrating on filling the tummy up, and then as you breathe out, letting it naturally just shrink back. And again, breathing in, push the hands away. Breathing out. Just really trying to push that breath all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more breaths. You might find that this takes quite a lot of concentration. That's good. Two more for me, in through the nose. Exhale. And one more like this. Big breath in. Exhale. And you can either keep those hands on the tummy or again just bring them back onto the lap, and either closing the eyes or softly focusing. Let the breath come back to normal and notice how you feel. And maybe you find that your natural breath pattern is just naturally a little bit deeper, is a little more regulated. Everything feels a little calmer, like you've zoomed out, you can get a little bit more focus. Okay, we're going to take it once more through. So again, 6 breaths deep down into the belly, as long or as short a breath as you need it to be to feel comfortable. Okay, whenever you're ready, breathing in. Breathing out. Imagining that balloon again, so breathing in, inflating, pushing the hands away. And out. Closing the eyes just helps to remove those external stimulus so you can focus on how you feel. And we're going to take 3 more breaths deep in through the nose. And out. 2. And the last one, breathing in. Breathing out, maybe let the hands drop back down into the lap again. Notice how you feel. Again, maybe a little calmer, a little more settled. A little more as though you are able to face what your day ahead has to throw at you. Maybe think about using this calmer frame of mind to write yourself a mental checklist of things that you would like to achieve today. Maybe even think about how you'd like to feel going through the day. And more importantly, remembering that you can come back to either of these practices at any point during your day. So at any point you start to feel that overwhelm kick in, start to feel like everything ramps up a notch. Either simply taking those 3 deep sighing breaths that we started with, or taking those 6 slightly deeper belly breaths that again just help to regulate, stimulate the vagus nerve, and just kick yourself out of fight or flight mode. Right, we're going to take one last breath all together. Nice big deep breath in. Stretch the arms all the way up. Maybe have a little wiggle through the shoulders. Exhale, arms come back down. Have a little flex and a wiggle and a roll. And we're done with the practices for today.